All right, so we have quotients of expressions involving exponents. If I write this out the long way, if I have b to the sixth, b to the sixth means I have a b times 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 another b, right? So I have b to the sixth a on top of my fraction. On the bottom, I have b to the fourth, b times b times b times b, and a to the seventh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if I get them all there. So what I'm ending up doing is that I'm canceling out the common factors on my top and the bottom of my fraction. So if I look at this, how many of those b's can I cancel out of there?
You mean how many of them are the same?
Yeah.
Okay, so then 4.
I cancel out 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And how many a's can I cancel out of there? Just one of them. So what I end up with is b to the second over a to the sixth, right? Now I obviously don't want to have to write all those a's and b's out. What if I had 15? So if you look at that and look for a shortcut, here's what you're really doing. You're saying I have 6 b's on top and 4 b's on the bottom. I can cancel out the smaller amount. I can cancel 4 of them out of there. So I'm going to take out the smaller number from 4. 6 minus 4 gives me 2 up on the top, right? With the a's, I've got 1 a on top and 7 on the bottom. I can only take one of them out because it's only going to have 1 in common. So I take the 1 off the top. If I take 1 off the bottom, it leaves me a to the sixth on the bottom. So my rule is that when I divide, I'm subtracting my exponents. I'm taking the small one away from the bigger one, and the variable is going to stay where you had the bigger exponent. So if the bigger number was on top, my variable stays on the top. If it was on the bottom, it'd stay on the bottom. So if I have b a to the seventh over b to the fifth, a to the fourth, on my b's, how many b's can I take out of there? Just 1. I have 1 in common on the top and the bottom, so if I take the 1 off the top, it's going to leave me b to the fourth on the bottom. With my a's, how many a's can I take out of there?
4?
4, right? We've got 7 on top, 4 on the bottom, so I can take off 4. Leaves me a to the third on top. So my answer is going to be that I have a to the third over b to the fourth.
Wow.
So, number 3 then. I have y to the third w to the sixth over y to the fifth w to the sixth. What do you think is going to happen there?
Well, we're going to have y to the second.
And where's it going to end up? On the top or the bottom of my fraction?
Bottom?
On the bottom. I'm going to take off 3, which leaves me an extra 2 down on the bottom. What happens with the w to the sixth?
They're 0.
It's not 0, it's actually 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. Right? I'm saying this goes into here once and this goes into there once.
Okay.
Okay, they cancel each other out. It looks like it's 0 when it's gone, but it's technically 1.
Okay.
So, on top I'm getting,
W.
not w,
1.
1. And on the bottom I'm getting
Y2.
y to the second power. Which is going to lead me into my next rule. If I just think about what we just did, just with the w to the sixth. W to the sixth divided by w to the sixth, we said we know is equal to 1 because anything divided by itself is 1. But if we follow our rule said if we do w to the sixth divided by w to the sixth, we subtract those exponents. And when you do 6 minus 6, you get 0. So, by definition, anything to the 0 power is really equal to 1 because it means you divided something by itself. So, I'm going to have you grab your calculator. just to test out this theory. If you do 3 caret 0, 3 to the 0 power, what do you get?
1.
You get 1. If you do negative 10 caret 0, what do you get?
1. Negative 1.
Whoops. We probably have to do this then to make it go right. Because we got negative 1, we don't want negative 1. We better put parentheses around it. Negative 10 in parentheses caret 0.
Caret 0 equals 1.
There we go. Probably the same thing with a fraction. We probably better put the parentheses around it. If you do 2/3 to the 0 power, put your 2/3 in parentheses. What do you get?
Well,
So everything we typed into the 0 power, provided we typed it in correctly with the parentheses, it gives you 1. So by definition, anything to the 0 power is equal to 1.